Did you know that if you do the clap emote in front of another player, they'll get a joyful boost for 5 minutes, which makes them move slightly faster while also restoring energy? This also works if you do the heart emote instead. Keep watching for more Heartopia tips and tricks. In this video, I've compiled over 50 tips for you, and if you learned something new, hit the like button to support the channel. Let's start with the basics. When choosing your server, take note that the default server might not match your current time zone. If you want the in-game time to be the same as your local time, you should pick the server that's right for you. If your time zone is different from the server zone, you can check the current server time here and see the time difference compared to your local time. This is important because the day-night cycle always refreshes at 6 AM server time, not your local time. From your watch, you can also check the weather by clicking this icon. You'll be able to see the next week's forecast, and there are some rare weather events you should keep an eye out for, like rain, meteor showers, rainbows, and snowfall. During rare weather events, a special NPC called Doris appears, who sells special recipes and items. She's usually at Art Street wandering around the patio by the southwestern bridge, dressed in all blue. If you can't find her there, she might be somewhere near the bridge to the Forest Island in the northeast corner of the map. If there's snowfall and you're wondering why the snow isn't appearing for you, check your settings. Go to Graphics, scroll down, and under Advanced Effects, make sure snow effects are turned on. If you see red dots over here, it means there's something new to discover or claim. Make sure to go through everything with the red dot so you don't miss any new rewards or quests. Don't forget to check the quest over here for time-limited events. Make sure you are claiming this or buying the limited time items because these are only available during the event period. If you miss them, you likely won't be able to get some of those items again. For example, there was a furniture mint set available during a previous event that's no longer in the game now. Keep an eye on your mailbox as well. Make sure to claim everything and check for new friend requests. Also, redeem any available codes. I usually keep an eye on Heartopia's Discord server to get the latest codes. This can give you gold, helpful items, and sometimes currency for exhibitions. This is especially useful because some of these currencies normally require real money to get. Next, let's look at the map. The map is very helpful for showing store locations, NPCs, and where your friends are if they're online. You can also mark locations on the map. For example, I've marked animal troughs and rare forageable spots. To create costume markers, long press on the map. This lets you assign different colors, icons, and a short description, though there is a character limit for that. Aside from placing these markers, you can also track NPCs, player homes, or costume waypoints. Tracking creates a glowing trail that leads directly to your target, making it easy to navigate. When gathering fruits or berries from trees or bushes, you only need to click once to collect the fruit. Clicking multiple times will give you branches or logs instead. If you're just collecting fruit for jam to make money, clicking once saves time and energy. Of course, if you need materials like timber, you can continue harvesting. There's an island beside the forest on the east. Here you'll find black truffles, which are rare and profitable. You can sell them directly or cook them into pasta, which sells for even more. There are also 2 giant trees on each corner of the house plots for a total of 8 giant trees. These give a lot of timber, including the rare version, which can be used in a lot of crafting recipes. While going around the house plots, you should also keep an eye out for the wandering oak and the flawless fluorite. These can only be harvested once per day and are used in a lot of crafting recipes. They appear in front of houses after you complete the main quest, so just walk along this road to find them. Next, let's talk about DG membership level. This is essentially your character's level in the game. You can only increase it using contribution medals and gold. Contribution medals are earned by completing resident requests. You get 5 requests per day, each rewarding 10 medals, meaning you can only earn a maximum of 50 medals per day unless special quests are available. This means progression is time-gated, and you can only increase your DG level by a certain amount each day. Increasing your DG level unlocks new hobbies, activities, and features. I actually like this system because it introduces new mechanics slowly, so you don't feel overwhelmed. Another good thing is that contribution medals cannot be bought with real money, so progress is fair for everyone. Speaking of resident requests, if you get a furniture request, I recommend crafting joinery chairs. You unlock this recipe through main quest progression, and it uses the least amount of materials. Now this is important. Before doing anything else each day, Accept all available resident requests from the menu. Many of these requests involve actions you'd normally do anyway, like collecting stones or berries. If you don't accept the quest first, those actions won't count. For example, if you train your dog before accepting the quest, you'll have to do it again once you accept it. You can change your character's appearance by visiting the second floor of the clothing store or by crafting and using a mirror at home. You can adjust skin tone, hair, eyebrows, eyes, facial hair, and more. Make sure to visit the second floor of the clothing store since you'll be able to unlock new hairstyles and facial features that are not available at the start of the game. You can change outfits in several ways. You can use a wardrobe or you can use your smartwatch and click dress up from anywhere. Don't forget that you can also assign your pajamas by clicking tab. Now let's talk about stores. Using the map, you can see when shop inventories refresh. For example, it says here that the clothing and furniture stores will refresh after 15 hours. Aside from the clothing and furniture store, check other stores from time to time because you might have unlocked some new recipes or furniture from leveling up your character. For example, Blank sells these flower planters that I didn't notice for a while. So go and talk to the different NPCs to see if they're selling something unique. I won't say all of them one by one, but here are some notable ones you should check out from time to time. Massimo sells ingredients which are sometimes on huge discounts. I tend to hoard ingredients if there's a sale because they're always going to be useful for some cooking recipe. Kaching has the backpack and storage upgrades along with other helpful items you need for dreams. Annie has new emotes and actions which are also sometimes on sale. She also sells instruments and music. Some of the music that you can buy here are actually made by other players in the game, which is a cool little feature. The bookstore is also easy to overlook, but you can buy books written by other players and enjoy their work from here. At the pet store, when you first unlock cat or dog breeding, only a few options will be available. You don't need to adopt right away. You can wait for new colors or variations to unlock since the selection changes each day. The building controls for this game can take a little getting used to, but I recommend switching to this camera view first by clicking on this icon at the top right. Clicking on the left side of the screen lets you move the camera, while clicking on the right side of the screen pans and rotates the camera for different angles. It took me a while to get used to this, but once I did, building structures became less confusing. If you're having trouble placing roofs, make sure you place flooring first. Roofs are much easier to install once flooring is already in place. You can also use many objects as decoration, not just furniture. Vehicles can be parked as part of your design, and you can also place food items like coffee or salads as decor. Other items you can use as decoration include your drawing board and musical instruments like the piano or lyre, so don't be afraid to experiment. Lastly, while you're building, click the weather icon over here to see how your house looks at different times of day. This lets you preview your home at different times and weather. It's sometimes hard to gauge the colors, especially at night when I usually decorate, so I really appreciate this feature. Next, let's talk about currencies. The main currency is gold, which you earn through resident requests and selling items. Gold is used for buying furniture, clothing, and shop items. There's also wishing stars, which are earned through resident requests, but can also be purchased using moonlight crystals. Wishing stars are used for special furniture and items, including exclusive clothing. The next two currencies are primarily bought using real money, though you can also get small amounts from redeeming codes. Moonlight crystals and exhibition passes are both obtained using heart diamonds, which are the premium currency you buy with real money. These are used for special exhibitions and exclusive cosmetic items. It's worth noting that everything you can buy with premium currency is purely cosmetic. Game mechanics and character level progression are time-gated for everyone, so you can play the game completely for free without missing out on any actual gameplay features. Now let's talk about vehicles, which you can buy from Andrew. You can assign a default vehicle by long pressing the vehicle icon. Scooters are faster than walking, but I recommend getting the bike using wishing stars because it's much faster. If you are able to claim the 7-day sign-in reward, the car you get on the 7th day is the fastest option. You can exit the vehicle using the space bar or this icon, and you can always summon it back by pressing X. Bus stops are another fast travel option, but you need to physically go to a stop first and pay 200 gold per ride. The paid GMG full membership gives you unlimited free rides as long as your membership is active. As you explore, you'll find bubbles in hard-to-reach places. You can use your vehicle as a platform to reach higher areas, and always remember that holding the jump button lets you jump higher. Furniture and clothing can be expensive, and while it's tempting to sell most of your forageables and crops for easy money, don't sell everything immediately. Some items are better used for cooking to increase profits, like grilled mushrooms, jams, and black truffle pasta. I have another video on making money fast that I will link below. You can also sell furniture you don't need. Items like pianos and fireworks sell for a lot, but be careful with limited time items since you may not be able to get them again. If you need to craft or cook for a request, you don't have to go home. You can use the workbench and stove in town, which are located near Massimo. Actions consume stamina, but there are many ways to restore it. You can eat, or someone can share their food with you. If you see this icon above someone holding a dish like this, click on it to eat it. Just make sure that they're giving it to you and not someone else. Sleeping on a bed restores stamina every 5 seconds, and if you log out while sleeping, you'll log in with full stamina. There are also relaxation spots on Onsen Mountain that restore energy. There are some fun actions you can do while here too, but the restoration buff applies even if you're just standing in the water. If you have a bathtub at home, it will have a similar effect too. And as I mentioned at the start of this video, you also get stamina restoration if another player performs the clap or heart emote in front of you. Tools also need repairing. You can buy or craft repair kits, but it's a good idea to use them around other players since people often share theirs. Once a tool is fully repaired, you can switch tools while the repair kit is still active to make the most of it. On the map, you will see icons for daily events like insect catching or bubble machine challenges. You can check when they happen and plan around them. You can also trigger events yourself like sea fishing and invite other players to do it with you. Don't forget to feed the animals. There are 8 wild animals in the game. I have another video covering all animal trough locations and their favorite foods, which I will link below. When your backpack fills up, go home and store items in your house storage, which is much larger. Unfortunately, there's no fast way to do this. Furniture needs to be stored individually since there's no bulk store option, which is kind of frustrating. I usually store my furniture here since I only need it at my house. There are many emotes and actions in the game. If you want an action to loop, open the camera, choose an action, and enable looping before closing the interface. This is great for recording your gameplay. For hobbies, I recommend unlocking cooking first because it will give you the most advantage early on. To upgrade hobbies, you need proficiency points and hobby upgrade tickets. Proficiency increases by doing the hobby and unlocking new items. For cooking, experimenting with different ingredients to unlock new recipes gives more proficiency, and this also gives you hobby upgrade tickets. For fishing and bug catching, try different locations, times, and weather conditions to unlock new entries. If you want to get more of the same critter, you can check your collections to see where and when that specific critter appears. At higher gardening and DG levels, your watering can upgrades to water multiple tiles at once. Make sure to take advantage of this. Next, we'll talk about things related to multiplayer. To add friends, you can use mailboxes, face-to-face interactions, or the friendship journal using a player's DG ID. You can find your ID by clicking on your picture on your smartwatch. To visit a friend's town, select them and click Visit. You can also join their town right from the start by clicking this icon over here. If you aren't seeing your friend from the friendship journal, you might be on different server locations. You will only see friends if you're on the same server. If you don't want strangers using your vehicle or interacting with your home, you can adjust permissions in home settings. Personally, I leave the default permissions as they are. Even if someone else uses my vehicle, I can always summon it back to me by pressing X. Don't forget to like other players' homes through their mailbox. It's a simple way to show appreciation for their work, and if they're currently looking at their screen, they'll see a notification that someone liked their house. You might just make a new friend by doing this. If you ever get items like the mermaid fish attractor for fishing, make sure to use them when you're playing with friends or near other players, like during fishing events. You'll have a better chance of unlocking new fish for your collection. The same idea applies to other shared items like repair kits, which I mentioned earlier. Another really useful item to use with other players is the rainbow bouquet. This was a special sign-in reward if I recall correctly, and when used, it grants a 30-minute blessing that improves the star rating of results from activities like fishing, cooking, insect catching, and more. Because of this, I recommend saving your rainbow bouquets. If you're trying to make money, invite friends who also have rainbow bouquets and take turns using them while cooking together. This way, you will get higher quality dishes, which sell for significantly more gold. If you're playing with someone who speaks a different language, you can turn on dialogue translation by clicking on their chat and choosing that option from there. This automatically translates messages so communication stays easy. You can also do activities together with other people. For puzzles, you can do one together where both players can move pieces at the same time, which makes it a fun cooperative activity. There are also some vehicles in the game which allow for passengers, so you and your friend can go around the world together. You can also take turns watering each other's gardens and flowers. The quality of crops increases as more people water it, and the chance of flowers crossbreeding also increases. This buff applies for up to 4 other people watering your garden. You can see if others already watered your garden by the line streaks around the sparkle. The sparkle appears once you water your crops, then a line appears beside that sparkle if one other person waters it. The lines increase as more people water it until it looks like this. Those are all my tips for now. If you've learned something new, don't forget to hit that like button and let me know in the comments which tip was most helpful for you. Check out this next video for more Heartopia guides.